An auction of the items left within the Pontiac Silverdome is given a whole new meaning to everything must go. Welcome to your ESPN.com headlines. I'm Dario Melendez. Everything from pretzel warmers to urinals were sold at the auction. With more on this, we welcome in our business analyst, Darren Rovell. And Darren, yeah, you know what? Copper wiring, grills, drink glasses, that's all great and fun for contractors. But whether there's anything auctioned off that really would have piqued a Lions fans' interest?
You know, as far as good stuff, there were seats that were being sold and just sold, not auctioned off, in between $100 and $350, depending on if you wanted one or you could get four together. The coolest piece was probably the end zones, two pieces of turf made up each of the end zones, and they were sold for $1,950 each. Hey, listen, if you got a great man cave, that's a pretty good item, though. I will make the joke that they were hardly used. Sorry, I'm going to get nailed for that. And then there was a Super Bowl sign for the only Super Bowl that was there in 1982. That sold for $914. But you know, there really wasn't that many good items in there for Lions fans, but a lot of it was just a lot of the things that like contractors would want, and as you said, urinals and maybe some high school stadiums. There was a soccer field that sold for about $60,000, but aside from that, it wasn't really for Lions fans.
Wow, what was the most expensive item that was auctioned off?
Well, it's called the Silverdome, but copper was what was the most exciting item. The copper wiring inside the Silverdome sold for about $90,000. And the way I understand it, you can reuse copper wiring. And so I get the auctioneer told me, I said, how much copper was in there? How much wiring was in there? He said, I don't know. These people came in, they know what they're doing, they assessed it, and they said this is what they were going to bid. And bid all the way up to $89,000 for it.
$89,000 for copper wiring. That is just phenomenal. But how much did this auction bring in altogether?
It wasn't completely done when I spoke to them. It was around $1 million, which is hilarious considering that this building was built for $55 million in 1975, sold for $583,000 in November 1989, and I guess they were able to sell the scraps of it for, more than $400,000 more than they paid for the building. So, pretty incredible. I know the people of Pontiac and Detroit were ripping mad, thinking that the negotiation was botched when the entire building, even though the Lions had moved out, 7 years prior, that it sold for $583,000. Seemed too little to people.
Well, that's our business reporter, Darren Rovell, with the latest on the auction of the items within the Pontiac Silverdome. Remember, for your latest headlines, keep right here on ESPN.com. I'm Dario Melendez.